Hello, Internet. It is Malik Aaron, and welcome back to my Spring 2020 box office predictions. And today we're going to be talking about Onward. And you know what? I'm just going to get it out of the way right now. I don't understand why they called this movie Onward. I mean, I get the whole onward to adventure type thing, but the thing is, to me, the word onward, it fits better within like a medieval context or like in a medieval movie, not in a movie, that's set in a modernized fantasy world with a bunch of mythical creatures. Is that just me? Am I the only one who thinks that? Probably, but that's just my stupid little opinion. Anywho, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons for Onward. So let's get to it. Pros. So, pro number one, this is a Pixar movie. I think it's safe to say you really shouldn't bet against Pixar because Pixar's track record has been mostly strong. I'll explain the weak parts of their track record when we get to the cons. But for the most part, their track record is incredibly strong. It's been very strong for 25 years. Ever since the first Toy Story. I mean, you got, the Toy Story movies, Monsters Inc., I'm sorry. A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Wall-E, Up. What else? Inside Out, Coco, they've made a ton of great stuff, over the years that have. And many of these movies have been a part of many people's childhoods. My personal favorite Pixar movies are Finding Nemo, Incredibles, Ratatouille, Wall-E, Up. Those are the ones I really. And Monsters Inc. too. Those are the ones I really grew up with. So yeah, a lot of people are very nostalgic about Pixar. So I think that the Pixar brand it might help this movie, or at least it'll do better than most animated movies that are not as big as Disney/Pixar. So that's pro number one, the Pixar brand. Pro number two, this is an original Pixar movie. This is not a sequel. This is not a prequel. And that's what a lot of people have complained about Pixar over the years, is that they went into the sequel business. After years, so long of them making original movies, they decided to, make sequels to everything, like Toy Story 3, which a lot of people accepted. But then they did no, not Monsters. Cars 2, then Monsters University, then Finding Dory, then Cars 3, then Incredibles 2, which a lot of people did legitimately want. And then Toy Story 4, which was very controversial. And it's just, those got tiring after a while. But thankfully they're going back to the being original, which might help. So yeah, pro number two, this is an original Pixar movie, so it's not a sequel. It's not based off any previously existing property. Pro number three, there hasn't been a family movie in the market since Sonic the Hedgehog, and we all know how well Sonic did. And it's been like 3-4 weeks since Sonic, so I'm pretty sure families are probably like, bruh, we need another movie. And so here's Onward. So I mean, there was that. And there's also just a lack of real competition in general, because February, besides Sonic, February was just so weak in terms of movies that Onward has nothing to worry about in terms of competition. Trying to think. Another pro is that the voice cast is pretty good. Our main two are Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, both of which are in the MCU, which is owned by Disney. Chris Pratt, we all know who he is. He's Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was in the Lego movie, before that series died. And then, of course, he has his Jurassic World movies. And they're actually making a third Jurassic World movie for next year. So he's in good shape. And then Tom Holland, we all know him as Spider-Man. And he hasn't had too many movies outside of that. I know he has the Uncharted movie, which is supposedly coming out next year, as long as another director doesn't drop out. So there's that. And I know he was in Spies in Disguise and Doolittle, both of which tanked, but he was. I don't really blame him for those. And, I blame the movies themselves and their marketing campaigns. So yeah, the voice cast is appealing, I would say. And fifth pro, I think I'm at number five, and I forget. All right, another pro is that the reviews are strong. I mean, they're not one of Pixar's highest reviewed movies, but they're still pretty good. So that will help. And that's pretty much it. Cons. Look, Pixar, I've said they have a very strong track record. But the thing is, in recent years, at least, the last decade, it's been rocky, to say the least. I mean, from 2000 to 2009, they were unstoppable. They were the kings of animation. Like, they owned that decade. But in the 2010s, things changed. And not for the better. I mean, it started out really good with Toy Story 3. And then they made Cars 2, which was their first critical flop. I mean, it still made money, but it was their first bad movie. And then you got Brave, which was a lot better, but still not great. And then you got Monsters University, which was just okay. The Inside Out was really good. It was getting back to, Pixar's, high quality days. Then The Good Dinosaur, although it wasn't received poorly, its box office was terrible. It was Good Dinosaur was the first Pixar movie ever to bomb, which is shocking because they never had a bomb before then. So yeah, that's really bad. And then they had Finding Dory, which was all right, made $1 billion, so good for them. And then Cars 3 underperformed, but at least Cars 3 had merchandise sales to save it, something Good Dinosaur never had. And then they had Coco, which, again, is definitely on the higher end of Pixar movies, quality-wise and box office-wise. And then Toy Story 4, I haven't seen Toy Story 4, but from what I've heard, some people say it's really good, some people say it's just a cash grab movie. I don't know, but it made $1 billion, so again, they're gonna be fun. And now we got Onward. So yeah, the 2010s have not been great for Pixar. They have not been the greatest, so that's a con right there. A con number 2 is that this movie, it just look. Look. I know I'm gonna break some hearts here. I am going to say something you may see as mean, but I'm being truthful. This movie doesn't feel like an event. It just doesn't. Like most Pixar movies, especially like when they're in the summertime, they feel like events. They feel like you need to see this in theaters. You need to see this as soon as possible. Right? Even their non-sequel movies, back in the day, like, Wall-E, Up, Finding Nemo, Incredibles. A lot of people looked at them and are like, I really need to see that because it looked so great. But this just feels like a side project to them because they have another movie on the way, Soul, and that's coming out in June, which is a more traditional release date for Pixar movies because most Pixar movies, they either come out in June or late May if you're Finding Nemo or Up, or November. This is the first Pixar movie ever to open in March, so yeah, it's kind of new territory. And and I don't know, like the marketing has been weak. They haven't been pushing this strongly at all. Feels like they're kind of saving their money, like they're spending more money on marketing Mulan and Black Widow and stuff. So yeah, this doesn't feel like an event. This doesn't feel like something you need to pay to see. This feels like something you can just watch on Disney Plus, which is probably what most people are going to do anyway. So, yeah, that's the second con. This movie just doesn't feel like an event at all. Uh, con number three. So, if you've heard about Onward, you've likely heard about Disney proclaiming they're like, "Oh my gosh, we have an LGBT character in the movie." And look, I'm just gonna say this right now. To anyone who is LGBT who happens to be watching this video, look, I'm fine with you. I don't hate you at all. You can do what you want as long as it's legal and stuff like that. As long as it's nothing illegal or anything, do what you want. I don't care. Like, you do you. But here's the thing about that announcement. Here's a little secret, and I'm gonna whisper it to you. You ready? Disney doesn't care about you. Okay? I mean, Disney's not gonna tell you that outright, but I will, because I know they don't care about you at all, because they're gonna cut that character out of the movie in like another country. I think it's like Russia or China. Well, this movie's not even going to be released in China right now because of coronavirus, but you know, yeah, they're likely just gonna cut it out anyway. And the thing is, the LGBT character they proclaim so much is such a minor character that it doesn't even matter. It's like this cop, like this weird cyclops looking cop that's apparently there for like one scene and one scene only, and then that's it. You never see him again. So, like, I don't. This feels like baiting. It feels like Pixar and Disney. They're just baiting, the alphabet community, as they say, and I think that's terrible. Like, you really shouldn't bait an audience like that. Any type of audience, it's scummy. It really is. So, yeah, I feel like that whole thing is gonna backfire on them in some way, shape, or form. So that's another con. I guess the most obvious con is, of course, the coronavirus going around. A lot of people, don't want to, are like afraid and panic mode. It wouldn't be a great idea to go to the movies right now, with a bunch of people around you, obviously. And yeah, I feel like pretty much every movie coming out the next few weeks is gonna have a small, I don't know, a small, some light, some, what's the word? I'm trying to think. Yeah, every movie coming out like in the spring, at least until hopefully the early summer season, is gonna get dinged by this coronavirus. By how much, I don't know, but there will be, a little bit of damage because of it. So that's obviously a con. And yeah, that's about it with Onward. Opening weekend. Originally, I was gonna say 50 million, which wouldn't be great for Pixar, but it would still be okay. But I looked at early numbers, and oh no, this is not going to be okay at all. Not in the slightest. So I'm just gonna say 40 million right now. That's me being optimistic. So about 40 million opening, and then at the end of the day, I'll probably make like 160 million total domestic. Worldwide, who knows? That's such a hard question to answer with the coronavirus going around. So yeah, it's crazy that Onward, a Pixar movie, might will likely, highly likely, open less than a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. What a world we live in. Yeah, so that's Onward. And the final movie we're going to be talking about this week is The Way Back, which I doubt anyone even cares about. And then after that, the rest of March, got a busy week with Bloodshot, The Hunt, I Still Believe in My Spy. And then there's Quiet Place Part 2, really excited about that. And then there's Mulan, ill. And then April got stuff like The Lovebirds, New Mutants. That's gonna be interesting. Peter Rabbit 2, Trolls World Tour, Saint Maud. That's gonna be interesting to talk about too. Antlers and Antebellum, and yeah, April is just going to be a dead month. I'm telling you right now. And I've actually been thinking about doing some of my summer prediction videos early because April is going to be so slow. You know, and that would be a good idea. They do it early. That way, I don't have to dealing with so many big movies coming out at once because I hate when that happens. So, yeah. All right, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment. Turn on notification bell, share. You know the drill. You want to go check out some of my past playlists? I got my Winter 2020 playlist, holiday playlist, all the others. Got my box office recap playlist. I will do February very soon. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out.